Hello and welcome back to another episode of the Big DK Energy Podcast. My name is Danny K, or the DK in the Big DK Energy, and I'm in my last stop for this Tampa tour, and I'm actually stopping by with another one of my really great friends from back at school. However, she's contributed so much to society. She graduated from UCF with an undergrad in early childhood development and is now doing her master's in full child life special work. And based on the master's, she is a child life specialist at the Johns Hopkins All Children's Hospital here in Tampa. So we're going to find out more about her and how she works with kids and how she is a mom herself to a beautiful German short hair. Right?
Pointer, yeah.
Short hair pointer. So with that being said, let's get to it and find out more about today's guest, which is Miss Carlye Hubert.
Hi, Danny. Thanks for having me.
Of course. Thank you for joining us. I know that you're a very busy individual, but thank you for gracing us with your time.
Anytime. Happy to do it.
Excellent. So one thing that I've always known you for is you've always had a heart of gold. And so you give your gift of a golden heart to children at Johns Hopkins. Is that correct?
I do my best. I work with babies now, but I do have the really fortunate opportunity to work with siblings of babies, so kids of all ages.
Excellent. So is that prenatal or no?
No, not prenatal. So neonatal intensive care unit, so postpartum.
Oh, okay. Because whenever I hear postpartum, I just know of postpartum depression. So that's probably not like the best segue into that, but I know that's a very real thing.
It's a very, very real thing. My realm of work deals with nothing of that sort. We have professionals on site that work with our moms. I specifically just work with the developmental needs of our infants and children.
So I actually did a little looking of what a child life specialist does, but since you're an actual one, why don't you give me the definition of what exactly you do?
Yeah, I'm going to give you like an elevator speech of sorts. When we're going through school, that's like what they tell us. Nobody knows what child life is. Give them your elevator speech. So essentially, child life specialists work with children, youth, and their families, ensuring that they're coping positively in the hospital environment. So we meet the child where they are in the hospital developmentally. We help them meet developmental milestones if they're going to have extended hospitalizations. We focus on stressors for different ages and stages of children in the hospital. We do preparation, support, distraction, normalcy, you name it. We do it. We support all realms.
That's an awesome thing, especially since children at young ages, unfortunately, can still go through so much. In fact, if I read the description of what a child life specialist is exactly, when my mom passed away when I was 10, I remember that there was a woman who came in. I was only 10 at the time. And she was like, "Hi, Danny. We're very sorry about what happened to you. I'm here to help make you feel much more comfortable." So she actually brought me a book that said it's okay to be sad. Is that exactly what a child life specialist does?
Exactly what we do. Absolutely. We unfortunately don't have the opportunity to work with as many children that are grieving the loss of a parent or guardian or caregiver, but we do support the loss of a child. We support siblings in experiencing the loss of a sibling, as well as parents in the light of a loss of a child. So
like miscarriaging?
So not miscarriaging, because we don't work with like prenatal care, but for example, if some of our infants come into the NICU with poor prognoses and or children come in through the ER and accidents have happened, we do support bereavements. So essentially, yeah, it's okay to be sad. It's okay to have questions. It's okay to wonder, what does this look like from here? And we offer children ways to understand something as simple as like pre-procedure. So if they're going to get anesthesia for surgery for like a tonsil removal, we can explain like what the mask is that they'll breathe into. So in words that children will understand there, and all the way through bereavement and like, what is death? What does that look like? We use concrete words so children are able to fully understand what that means. We're very honest with children.
Of course, and in a way that won't destroy their sense of innocence.
Yeah, they're people too.
Just very little people that just cry a lot.
Some do cry a lot. Working in the NICU, you hear a lot of crying.
I bet.
Yeah.
So what exactly got you into child life specialist, or specializing, if that's even the proper term for it?
Being a child life specialist.
There we go. Much better than, see, that's why I'm not one, because I can't even form regular sentences.
Yes, you can. It's just a hard career and or profession to think about. So most people don't know what we do. So that's actually how I found out about child life, not through anything in college except for my involvement in Nighthon at UCF.
Oh.
So yeah. And
tell me, how was that experience?
Nighthon, incredible. I was oh my gosh, I'm going to butcher this. Family and hospital relations director one year.
Brandon Kraut's going to come and get you.
Yeah. Probably. I'm sorry. Forgive me. It's been a long time since then. But I got to work directly with our patients and families and miracle families. So I enjoyed every minute of it. I got to do the work at night on what I do now.
See that? And they say college can't help you with a career later in life.
College completely gave me my career. I didn't know what child life was until I did a hospital tour at Arnold Palmer Hospital for Children.
I always butcher that too, because then there's the Winnie Palmer Hospital and everything just sounds too similar. But that's awesome because I know a bunch of people, of course, they say they want to help out, especially like help out with kids. But then, when they actually get down to the nitty and gritty of it, they don't see what you do. And then I don't know if they would even be able to handle it. That's the thing.
Some people have a difficult time in the hospital setting regardless of the role. So I think that's why clinical opportunities exist for your education, because I had to do like a 200-hour practicum and a 600-hour internship.
Oh, that sounds fun.
It was daunting, but
lots of experience, right?
Yes.
Which is what they paid plenty of in, right?
Yeah, for free, that's very generous.
So, Nightthon, you graduated with early childhood development. Was that your original career path or no?
So when I got to college, my original career path was nursing, which also kind of opened up my realm of wanting to be in the hospital and working with children, but not knowing what exactly.
You just know you didn't want to have to clean out bedpans and that kind of stuff. Not ripping on people like that, because they are needed. It's just unfortunate some of the literal crap they have to go through.
Oh yeah, absolutely. I bow down to nurses. The hospitals function because of nurses. I mean, there's so many moving parts and so many incredible people in hospitals, and nurses attend to all the bedside care. They're phenomenal people.
Yeah, but you're a phenomenal person too, because you're helping another aspect of health, which is the mental part for children. See, that's the thing. Their brains are not formed enough that they don't even know where to begin with where mental health starts. It's like, I'm sad, but for what reason?
Yeah, and so we call it like the psychosocial realm. So it involves all parts of the child. So we look at all parts of the child and where they are and cognitively and what they can understand. So that's the most important part of my job.
What are some difficult things you go through? Because explaining something to a child must seem simple but really hard at the same time, so that you don't overload them with information. So You say you work with bereavements, and then what are some other major things that you help out kids with?
So we have children that come into the hospital with a potential terminal or chronic illness. So for example, a child with diabetes, you come into the hospital not feeling well. All of a sudden you have to get poked many times a day to check your blood sugars, and you have to take insulin and get poked for that. And that's a lot of information coming to you as a child, and a lot of pokes that are happening, and they're telling you they're going to happen every day. So we'll explain to children the importance of that. We'll provide them opportunities for choice. Like today, when we take your blood sugar, which hand do you want us to use to poke, or which finger do you want us to poke? Yes, we explain things to children in ways they'll understand, but we also give them opportunities to still have autonomy and control over their care as appropriate.
Well, that's good, because I know that hospitals, their whole goal is to help heal people, but then at the same time, I feel like it can sometimes be a little much, especially for children.
Yes, yeah, absolutely. I mean, the hospital is just an overwhelming environment in general, so that's also where our role exists. We provide play and normalcy for kids, which is super important.
So do you get to color with them and play Legos with them?
Yeah, I do some things as simple as playing Legos and coloring, but oftentimes there's a bigger motive behind it. Children are able to express things that they might be fearful of in the hospital through play. And also we can help clear misconceptions. So we can bring in dolls and we can bring in medical supplies, and sometimes they'll play what to us just looks like outward play. Mm-hmm. They're practicing on the doll what's usually happening to them in the hospital environment.
Oh, okay. Look at that.
Yeah.
It's kind of introducing them in a way that they won't get fully scared, because it's like, oh wait, I remember I did this to the dolly earlier.
Yeah, absolutely. And it helps us establish coping plans for kids. So
coping plans?
Yeah. So for example, if a child's playing with a doll and they say 1, 2, 3 poke, and they give their doll a poke, we now know that that child likely likes to know for themselves if they want to count down until they get their poke.
It's kind of like people with skydiving, and it's just 3, 2, and then you jump out, because if you say 1, people will hold on to the side of the plane. Okay, yeah. Maybe not that drastic, but that's the only thing that I could think of as a comparison.
Yeah, no, and it's interesting enough that you say a comparison, because oftentimes we provide children comparisons that they understand. So
analogies, so that, for example, your teddy bear's feeling really sick, but we're going to open him up, put him some more fluff so that he feels better, kind of like that.
Yeah, we don't say we're going to open up the teddy bear, because that might be scary to the kids, but we use things that they understand and can relate with.
What was one of the hardest ones that you've had to do? Not so much where it's traumatizing, but it's what was one of the most difficult situations that you've seen yourself? It's how do I word it in a way that's child appropriate?
Oh, that's a good question. Because all of my education and learning was being given the tools how to explain things to children. I would say probably during my like clinical experiences, explaining death to children is probably the hardest. Not to be like super somber, but oftentimes.
I mean, that's what happened to me.
Right. Yeah. That's the experience you had and somebody had to explain it to you. Yeah. Because I feel like as humans, we just don't talk about death in general. We kind of like evade the topic. So when you have to tell a child who, as you mentioned earlier, like you want to keep their innocence, it's like, why are we telling a child this? Like, why are we talking about that? Why are we using words like dead, death, and dying?
Right. In fact, actually, TikTok and even some other social media platforms don't even like the word death. Like, they have to explain things as, oh, if you get hit by this, you'll be unalived, or you'll be a Twitter bio. They'll find other ways to say, yeah, this person died.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, I think it's interesting to me because children can come up with like all different types of theories of like what unalive is. But in theory, like.
What have some kids say, actually, in terms of death?
So the reason we use finite words like dead and death and dying are because if you say to a child, oh, they have passed, or oh, they're no longer here, a child might just think they're no longer here.
Room.
Yeah. Or past, it gives the connotation that the child is, or that the individual is just
somewhere else that isn't physically present.
Right. So we try to use those concrete words because we let them know that their body is no longer working. Their body is no longer able to breathe. They got sick and their body couldn't do the job it needed to do for them to be alive.
That's a very great and very simple way of putting it.
Yeah.
See, look, I'm such a big child that you were able to do that with me, no problem.
Hey, I'm doing good at my job then.
Exactly. See, John Hopkins is very lucky to have you.
Oh, thank you.
Of course. But instead of the somber things, what's one of your favorite aspects of being a child life specialist?
Oh my gosh, so many things. I don't do somber work every day, so this is my favorite question to answer.
Okay.
I love providing families opportunities to engage. I work primarily with our infants, so I do a lot of first milestones for families that have their baby in the hospitals from birth. So I do their very first footprints. I get to help facilitate footprints. I get to be there to celebrate those 1 month photos that you see all over social media these days.
You mean the one with the blankets with like the circle around the number? I'm 24 months old. You're 2, kid.
Yeah, exactly. But for our families, sometimes reaching 1 month is a huge milestone. So I get to be there for those moments, and it's really cool.
So you like working with babies? You like holding them in your hands? Is that?
Oh gosh, yeah. I could cradle a baby all day long and just provide that positive stimulation and positive touch. A lot of our babies, parents have to get back to work, right? I mean, that's just normal life. And sometimes our babies are in the hospital for extended periods of time for various reasons. Sometimes we just have feeder growers and they just need to put a little chunk on them because we all love a baby with some chunky thighs. But, and parents just can't be bedside all the time. So we're able to provide those opportunities for positive touch and stimulation because that's so important for infants. But not all of our babies can be held. So sometimes giving parents those tools to still provide positive touch is part of my job as well.
Is it like when they're in that incubator and that there are those gloves that you can reach inside to like touch your baby and whatnot?
Yeah, sometimes in that situation, sometimes babies just need to be lying on their backs so that they can't be out of their isolates or cribs for whatever reason. So we'll just offer opportunities for parents to do positive touch that way.
Awesome. And what's the proper name for that? Is it incubators or?
There are incubators, yeah. But
okay.
We call them isolates.
Isolates.
It's like, what word am I thinking of? Isolates, which are like incubators essentially. And then we do have regular cribs in the hospital too, because not all of our babies need to be in an isolate.
Got it.
Yeah.
And you didn't only do child life work down here, right? You did some up in New York, right?
I was up in New York City for 2 years.
Especially during the height of the pandemic, if I'm not mistaken. Is that correct?
You are absolutely correct. I was in New York City when New York was the epicenter, and I never stopped going to work when COVID first hit.
Did you hear all those clapping from everyone stuck inside? You were thinking, man, I hate my life.
I didn't think I hate my life at that.
I was being a dick on my end. I knew, being the positive person you are, Carlye, yeah. I knew you were like, I'm going to go make someone's life much better. Me, though, I'd been like, God damn it, I need to get out of New York.
Yeah, I mean, a lot of people did leave New York, so it's crazy. I mean, I have incredible pictures going to work every day of like completely empty New York City streets.
Did it feel odd when you were walking through those streets?
Oh yeah. I mean, those are vibrant streets, the city that never sleeps, right? So it's to be in an empty New York City, it's like eerie, ominous almost.
Seems like an apocalyptic movie set.
100%. Have you seen I Am Legend?
Of course.
I literally took a video one day walking from the subway station to my outpatient center, and I was like, it's literally I Am Legend right now.
Yeah, the zombies could come out at any moment.
Honestly, if somebody told me a zombie apocalypse was happening, I for sure would be like, you're not wrong. It's happening.
Yeah, although not gonna lie, before I was furloughed from my job, I would only go in to go film content every once in a while. I run the social media for a gun range, and so even though I live 30 minutes away from Disney World in downtown Orlando due to I-4, it's much more like a schlep of 45 minutes.
Yeah.
But the best part is I was able to get there on like actual time, because the 20 minutes that it said to get from my house to the place, I was actually able to do much quicker because there was nobody on the roads.
Yeah, which is crazy on I-4. That's nuts.
I know, but I was like, I gotta appreciate this now because I know it's gonna go back to its hectic self soon. In fact, actually, on my way here, I got rear-ended. So yeah.
Oh my gosh, are you okay? Is the car okay?
I'm fine. The car just has a few blemishes, but it is still drivable. So yeah.
Oh man. Well, are they gonna cover the blemishes?
Yeah, eventually. But you know, everything went well. Everything was smooth. The officer was really nice, and we all just went about our day. We're in a much better spot. But then, yeah, now the roads are back to where they are, and everything is starting to get back to somewhat normalcy. And so, has that still affected hospital traffic though, or has like hospital traffic still been coming in even before when everything was mostly locked down, kind of thing?
Like, do you mean my drive from here to work?
That, and also just like, has everything coming back to normal like affected your job at all? Or
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, if you think about it in general, like more people are out in the world and more prone to like accidents and things, or like little things are happening. Kids are back at school, so they're getting those annual colds. I mean, sure, yeah, the society interacting with each other always makes things busier. But in general on the road, yeah, what should take me 25 minutes to get to work sometimes takes 40, and I absolutely want to pull my hair out. I miss the empty roads. Only that part, for sure.
Right,
But
that was the only good thing that came out of it.
yeah, I would need, yeah, that's literally it.
See, what they need though is like a separate lane for trucks, because some trucks that are in the passing lane and they don't pass the other truck in the other lane, it just causes what is called a rolling roadblock, and then it's not like you can drive on the shoulder to go around them.
Yeah.
Oh well.
Nope.
But driving those roads to work must be hectic. But then again, at the same time, you actually like what you do. So therefore, sure, you want to pull your hair out, but then seeing the infants' faces must brighten your day up.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, and that's like, I don't actually want to. It's just crazy to me how we went from like no traffic to a ton of traffic. But yeah, I absolutely love what I do. I love that families allow me to be a part of their journeys. And aside from seeing infant faces, I think like also to answer your previous start to this question, something else I absolutely love about what I get to do is opportunities for children to like understand what's happening, and those aha moments. Like when you see a child be like, oh, that's not so bad because somebody took the time to explain it to them. That's like the coolest part of my job.
That was very heartwarming, I will say.
Oh.
Because I could just see myself being told about, what just happened, and then just be like, I didn't understand, but it's like still okay.
Yeah.
And unfortunately, with some things, you have to further mature kids a little quicker than they need to. But, that's just how life works out sometimes.
Yeah. And a lot of our kids are not a lot. All kids are so resilient. And a lot of the information you provide them, they are already ready to get that information.
If I'm not correct, like up until kids are 7, their minds are like sponges or something like that.
Yeah. Well, they say 6 months to 4 years is the most important for cognitive growth. I mean, they just retain everything during those years.
I really wish my mom taught me Korean, because then I'd probably have a job at like Hyundai's just talking.
Literally. And honestly, like anybody that's listening or anybody that's questioning teaching their child a second language when they're that young, that's the time to do it, because you're right. I mean, they will absorb it. I think being taught a second language, a third language, is such a gift.
It is, especially nowadays where everyone is becoming more culturally mixed and whatnot. It seems like you can't go anywhere without speaking Spanish. In fact, I started learning because, well, one, I was at 2 jobs that I did not like, but I'm like, if I am to get something out of it, might as well make it worth it. So I started brushing up my Espanol because, not gonna lie, a bunch of Ubers when I would drive, not when I would drive, but whenever I would leave the bars from UCF, a couple of times I've had Uber drivers that no habla inglés. And I was thinking, oh crap. And then I was really hungry this one time, and I was like, yo quiero Taco Bell. And then he's like, see. And next thing you know, we ended up in the drive-thru. I was like, holy crap, this is like a superpower. But then you have to realize that other people have this superpower, and I'm just dumb. You know what I mean?
Well, not dumb. You just didn't either have the opportunity when you were younger or didn't push yourself to do it now.
True. I mean, that's what I'm doing now. But it's like I got to play a lot of catch-up to a 2-year-old kid from Mexico who knows it fluently, for example.
Right. Or any child that grows up in a bilingual, trilingual household. I mean, wherever you are, it's really fortunate that families bring all the languages into the home and don't drop them and just do like whatever native language in the area that they're in.
Of course. And speaking of families, actually, do you like working with parents? As weird of a question that sounds?
Not a weird question. That's very fair. I mean, because I work with infants, so most of my work is parent-based, which is also kind of interesting because we're like, you like working with kids, but you work with parents. I really enjoy the parents I work with. I find that they welcome my role with open arms. They're eager to have me come in the room. And most of my parents are first-time parents, and they're just so excited for all the things. And to have a caring face that comes in and isn't coming in to give them medical updates, but opportunities to interact with their child or their infant, that they love to have me present in the room. So.
You do have a very inviting face. I will give you that.
Thank you. I try to bring a smile.
Yeah, you're very smiley. That's because I've known you since 2015?
Oh, maybe.
It's been a while.
It's been a long time. Oh my gosh, that's like 8 years.
That's 2 whole college kids.
That's crazy. Time flies when you hang out with great people.
Exactly, right? And yet we still look great. I mean, your skin looks great. I've been told my skin looks great, so yeah.
It does.
Well,
What's your skincare routine?
Just drink a gallon of water.
That's really a guy answer. Good for you.
But then also I'm part Korean, so I feel like those genes kind of added to me looking youthful because Asians don't raisin.
Yeah, that's not going to happen to me.
Well, you look great now, so
thank you. We'll take it for now.
Excellent. So then, what's the oldest age child that you've worked with?
So we technically go 0 to 19. However, because of developmental delays, we do work with children. I think the oldest I've interacted with is 21. Because, yeah, so where a child might be chronologically might not be where they are developmentally.
I mean, I'm on the autism spectrum, so there are a few individuals who go through that.
Yes. I mean, like you said, it's a spectrum, right? So, I mean, we don't see individuals that are 21 that are on the spectrum because it's spectrum. So whether they're severe, that would be different. But we obviously wouldn't see you at our hospital. You're a well-functioning adult and you do beautifully. And
thank you. I'm trying my best.
You do phenomenally. Oh, we got a visitor.
Hey, we got the third guest. Hi, Boone.
Oh, that's a big stretch.
Hi, Boone. You want to say something to the camera?
Oh, this is a good sniff.
That was a very good sniff. Great soundbite. I'm going to put you in.
Moseying along here.
Yeah. Do you ever bring Boone into work?
I don't. Boone is not a registered facility dog or a therapy dog.
I'd love to see Boone. Are you kidding me?
I mean, I also would love to see Boone. He would totally make my day having him at work with me, but he's still too little that I think he would just, the smells, he would be all over.
How old is he?
He's only 14 months.
That's it?
Yeah.
That's a big-ass dog.
He's 51 pounds. He's big.
That's a big boy.
He is a big boy. He's the protector of the house. So
well,
keep him here.
You had to make sure that the cameras weren't going to eat mom alive.
Yeah, honestly. He comes and we do these things called check-ins. So he'll circle the corners. I'll be like, thanks for the check-in. Just to make sure mom's good.
Of course. And we're back. Sorry, we just had to take a little quick break. And actually, during that break, Carlye was telling me about a little cute thing that they do with their ID badges at the hospital.
Yeah, so we wear little, honestly, wouldn't even be able to tell you the full name. Sometimes when you're walking through the hospital, they'll give you the full name of them. It's just an IV, like a catheter essentially. So sometimes we have to do quick preps for kids, and we'll just pull these off the badges for a quick IV prep. And we explain to kids that, when you drink out of a cup with a straw because you need to get juice in your mouth or water, sometimes our veins need those water fluids and also medicine, so they need their own special straw too.
Look at that. Even kid-proofing stuff for me right now.
Yeah, there you go. You'd be so surprised how many parents, when we pull these out, are like, wait, the needle comes out? That's what stays in versus the needle? There's so many adults that don't even know the catheter is what stays and not the needle for an IV.
True.
Thanks.
It's to help kids stay hydrated.
Yeah.
And also, speaking of staying hydrated, Florida is a really hot state that sucks all the bodily fluids out of you. If you thought that was a weird transition, that's because we're now about to go into Miss Hubert's personal life. And speaking of Florida, you're actually from here, correct?
Yeah, born and raised on the East Coast. I'm an East Coaster, biased to it.
Which city specifically again?
So Ormond Beach is my hometown.
Okay.
Most people know Daytona Beach.
Of course. Actually, I went to Bike Week right before lockdown happened.
Yeah, that was probably where Spreader happened right before lockdown.
I wouldn't be surprised. Not gonna lie, Ormond Beach or the Daytona Beach area, it's very sleepy, but it's a very chill vibe.
It's a quaint town.
There we go. That's a great way of describing it. Quaint.
Yeah, it's a beach town. I mean, there's not much to do at night. The whole town does shut down around 9 p.m.
Really?
Yeah, unless we have these one-off little cute beach bars that are later where the locals will go that people know about. But Most of this stuff, unless it's like the late night food grabs, like Steak and Shake or Taco Bell, everything closes at 9
America's
p.m.
finest.
Yeah, there you go. And they're like right off the highway. So that's what people see when they come into my hometown.
When you were growing up, were those the places to hang?
Oh, yeah. Like there was a Regal Cinemas movie theater. So we would all go there. Like our parents would drop us off there on a Friday night before everybody could drive.
Of course.
And then we'd like walk over to the Wendy's just across the way. And then would go over to Steak and Shake after a movie.
That sounds like a great yet gut-busting combo.
You know, I don't know how we survived as kids just eating Wendy's and movie popcorn and then going and getting a milkshake. But
Yeah, because you look great. So definitely none of that, whatever you ate back then, does not show now. So
Well, I am an avid exerciser, if that's a way to say that. But
So like you're a gym rat kind of thing?
I wouldn't say like gym rat. I actually work out in our garage right now because it's just we have free weights and things. But
Why not? Why would you schlep all the way just to wait for machines and then come back where you have less time because you have to commute?
yeah, for sure. And I mean, I like the opportunity to just walk out the back door and then Boone can play in the yard while I'm working out. And it's a good start to the morning.
Honestly, I feel like if you were to chase him around, if he had something in his mouth, that'd be great cardio.
100% great cardio. He's also unbelievably fast, so I would never catch him.
And just like we said before, he's a German short hair pointer. Is that the correct
Yes.
breed?
Yeah, you got it right.
How did you exactly meet Boone?
I met Boone in Covington, Georgia. I picked him up from there. My mom and I drove 6 hours to go get him.
Oh, very nice.
Yeah, he's full of energy, but that's why I chose the breed. I mean, it's fun. We try to keep him mentally stimulated here. We do a bunch of different tricks. He's super smart, and I needed a running buddy.
Oh, what better way than a kid? Well, a furry kid, at
Furry
least.
kid, yeah. For now, a furry kid.
Exactly. Actually, my two dogs back at home, they're the fill-ins because all of their human kids are out of the house now, especially since my youngest sibling just moved to USF and actually just accepted her bid to Katie there.
Oh, congratulations to her. That's so exciting.
Right? And, hopefully she'll get to experience everything that we got to experience and not all the bad stuff.
Yeah, no, I hope she gets to experience all the really awesome things, like all the friendships that have come out of Greek life.
Absolutely. I mean, that's how we met.
Yes.
And even though that Greek life, you realize how stupid it is afterwards, but I'm really grateful for the people I've met through it.
Oh, same. It's funny to me because people will be like, why would you pay for your friends? I'm like, if I paid for friends, I certainly didn't pay enough because I have the best people in my life because of Greek life.
Exactly. I mean, everyone that I saw here was exactly from school. In fact, all of my friends and best friends were from college. I mean, there are a few people that I still talk to from high school, but then again, it's like I didn't really start becoming more social until much later. And then honestly, it's like, there's some nice people. And did you ever go to Chabad at all?
I did at UCF. Yeah, I did.
Nice.
Did you?
I definitely did, yeah. In fact, one thing that a bunch of us Jewish guys in ZVT was do is we would go to library or pub happy hour and then go to Chabad for services and then just go back out afterwards.
Because they like to dinner, right?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, and that's also a dream of a college kid because you're a broke college kid. And
Right, free dinner, and just because you're Jewish, say less.
yeah, seriously. Didn't need much convincing.
In fact, we've even had some of the non-Jewish members that were cool with the Jews that are like, you know what, I'll put on a yarmulke and rock it.
There you go. I mean, why not? Exposure's good, even if you're learning.
Exactly. I mean, being from Ormond Beach, a very sleepy beach town, did they have a lot of stuff in terms of Judaism there?
No, I would say that like it wasn't prominent just because we are a smaller town, but we were part of Temple growing up.
Okay.
So it made our circle feel bigger.
Did everyone go to service in like board shorts and something like that?
No, actually, it's really funny you say that though, because there is a church on Beachside called, I think it's actually literally called Beachside Church, and people would come in from their morning surf, like in their wetsuits, and then attend service and get back out to the beach.
After having gotten drunk on Daytona Beach and having seen the people who were there, I'm not surprised that something like that would occur.
Yeah, we're a super casual town. Temple's a little bit different because you go on Friday night, so.
True, and that's when all the cool kids are hanging out, right?
Yeah. It was like, oh my gosh, this is terrible timing when you're growing up. You have to go to Temple on a Friday night, but all the kids are out at the movie theater.
Right, and they can't even see anything past PG-13.
Yeah, unless you snuck into the other movie theaters.
So, how far is Daytona from Orlando again?
It's just about an hour. It's really not that far.
Yeah, that's really not bad. I have to make a 3-hour schlep down in Boca, but
yeah, that's far.
So, what made you choose UCF out of like every place I want? I mean, it seems kind of close to home, don't you think?
Yeah, it was close to home.
Unless you like being close to home. Fair enough. That's a difference.
Yeah, I was gonna say I was a huge homebody growing up. I love my little town. I still enjoy going back there. I actually chose UCF though because they have a phenomenal cheerleading team, and just before going to college, I decided decided I was going to try out for the cheer team.
No way. That's awesome.
Yeah, I never ended up trying out because my mom is like, we have to do like sorority or cheer, and I wanted to join Greek life.
Oh.
And I think it just, as a new college freshman, she was worried it was just going to be too much.
Understandable. Actually, I attempted to go out for the hockey team, but then after one conditioning, I was like, yeah, I'm not definitely in shape for these guys.
Also, that's impressive that you can, like, ice skating hockey.
Yeah.
That's a skill.
Oh, really? You think so?
Yeah, I still use the walkers to ice skate. I cannot free skate on a skating rink.
Surprisingly enough, I think I actually know how to skate better than I run, to be quite honest with you, because I grew up playing hockey.
Down in Boca?
All the snowbirds, they bring their ice rinks with them.
Oh, that makes sense.
Yeah, because my dad's from New York originally.
Okay.
So he was a Rangers fan, froze his ass up there. He grew up playing hockey, that whole thing. And plus the Panthers are actually doing pretty well now, which I assume you're a Lightning fan.
I'm actually a Rangers fan.
You know what? I will forgive you.
I'm also born and raised New York team family, so we're Rangers fans.
So you were born in New York?
No. So my dad and my stepdad are from New York.
Oh, whereabouts?
So my stepdad's from Long Island. I don't know which part of Long Island.
My stepmom's from Long Island. She's from the South Shore.
Okay. I should start paying attention when he tells me. He tells me all the time, and I feel so bad I can't remember it. But my dad is from Fire Island.
Okay, got it.
Yeah.
I've always heard of it, but where is that exactly again?
I'd have to get a map and look at it.
Fair enough. Is your mom from New York too?
My mom's from Maryland.
I mean, my mom's from Korea, so that's a little bit way different, but
But not New York.
Exactly. But it all worked out because you're here right now in Tampa living your best life.
Yes, I am. I love being back in Tampa. I like being 2-hour drive from my parents versus a 2-hour plane ride now, so it's really nice.
For real, I feel like, especially during that time, plane flights must have been hectic. It was actually during the pandemic that my parents got the puppies.
I feel like that was a huge thing, though.
Yeah, because I'm pretty sure that, entire animal shelters were completely closed because everyone was needed somebody to spend lockdown with.
Yeah, for sure. And I think people, went out to the shelters and got all the dogs. I know there were, no animals in the shelters for a while, right?
Which is good.
Yeah.
That's what we want, except I feel like a lot of them went back as soon as everything started to slow back down.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, it happens. People got back to work and they didn't realize the time it takes to keep up with the animal in the house.
Yeah. Oh, well, you got Boone during the pandemic, right?
I did. I actually got him a year ago on this coming April. It'll be a year.
Mazel tov.
Yeah, 1 whole year together.
And you got him as a puppy, right?
I did. He was 7 weeks old. He was literally the size of probably your recording thing. He was so little. He was 4 pounds. And he would nuzzle right up here and in between your neck and your shoulder.
Wow, he was that tiny.
So tiny.
Actually, that reminds me of a picture that I have with my grandpa. I was so tiny that my grandpa, he'd be watching the news, and I was the entire length of his forearm. He would just hold me like that.
Yeah. Isn't that crazy that you were that small?
Right? That we were both that small. In fact, when you were talking about their feet prints, my parents just recently moved to a new house in Boca, so we were going through all the old memories, and I remember my dad still has a little cast of my foot from when I was a few months old, and it was still in bronze, and it's only up to the ankle. And I just thought, dang, my feet used to be this smaller, those kindergarten projects where you put your hands there, because your parents would be like, oh, you put your hands in clay.
Yeah. I mean, but that's exciting for parents. They get to see how little your hands once were.
I mean, I guess because I'm not a parent, so I don't understand that, because you're more of a parent, if anything, than I am.
I'm a fur parent. I don't have any paw footprints, but...
Yeah, but you still got to clean up after their crap. You still need to keep an eye on them sometimes. You just need to keep them fed, alive.
Yeah, you need to keep them alive. That's a huge part of it.
But some people, they can't even handle a dog, let alone a kid.
That's true. I mean, people say that dogs are really good testers. I think it's so accurate.
Yeah, well, a good first sign is if you punch the dog at all, that's probably a good sign you probably shouldn't have kids.
Yeah, or just maybe work on your patience a little bit.
And speaking of working on patience, you do that at the hospital. I'm just kidding. That was a joke transition.
That was a pretty good one, though. That I do work with patience.
See?
I have patience.
I mean, that does make sense. But what's another thing that makes Carlye Hubert tick?
Oh, I can tell you I do a lot of self-care in the form of baking. That's why you walked into banana muffins today.
Ooh. Yeah, that's right. She didn't make it for me specifically, but she just so happened to have made banana muffins, and I had one, and now my brain feels like it's completely fueled up, so thank you for that.
You're welcome. I'm here for all the carbs.
All the carbs, and yet... I love how, body positivity is now a thing where it's just if you want to eat those french fries, go ahead. Just make sure you run enough to burn it off.
See, I think that you should do the french fries, and if you don't want to run, then don't run. Just eat the french fry.
You know what? I actually like that outlook much better. It requires me to move less.
Yeah, I think you should sit on the couch and eat a French fry.
I mean, you obviously keep an active lifestyle, but what's your go-to, like, guilty pleasure of food?
Chips and salsa.
That's it? Just chips and salsa?
Oh, but it's not like that's just it. Like, I could open a brand new bag of chips and salsa, and the literal whole bag will be gone in one sitting.
One sitting?
One sitting. It's quite impressive.
You go, girl.
Yeah.
Proud of you.
No shame. It's all about balance.
Balance. And you work on that when you exercise on your core?
Yeah, I balance really, really well when I do hollow holds for core workouts.
Hollow holds?
Like, when you're laying on the ground flat and when you lift your arms and your legs up and you have to just hold your core tight to keep you lifted.
I think they call those Supermans.
But this one, you're on your stomach. You're on your back.
Oh, never mind. Yeah, because on the stomach, that'd be the Superman. But, it's kind of like when SpongeBob did photosynthesis.
Yeah.
Or at least that's all I can remember when I...
I wish I was better about referencing SpongeBob episodes, because somebody just referenced a SpongeBob episode at work the other day, and I was like, oh, I need to brush up on my SpongeBob.
What shows do you watch then?
Right now, I'm super into Yellowstone.
Everyone's been raving about it.
It's pretty good. They're on a ranch out in Montana, and it's beautiful. So it's like talking about livestock and just protecting the family ranch.
Got it. And that's the main premise. It's on a ranch that has like beef with like another ranch like 20 miles over or something like that.
Well, they're by the Indian Reserve.
Okay.
I think it's the Indian Reserve. So yeah, there's beef there. Whose land is whose, essentially, and like no crossing barriers.
Of course, it's one of those shows that there is no black and white, that there is a very subtle hint of gray, but seems that it's an enticing gray because people are watching it like you.
Yeah, I mean, I'm hooked. It took a couple people to get me onto it, but I blew through like the first 3 seasons, and now I'm on the last one.
What's a show that you watched that you'd never thought you'd watch in like a million years?
I don't know. I feel like everyone that suggests shows to me knows me pretty well and what I'd be into.
So what are you not into, for example?
Okay, I'm going to get dogged on so hard for this. I'm not an Office person.
Me neither.
I have zero interest in it.
I can watch multiple episodes without laughing. I'll be like, this is a good story, but it isn't as funny as everyone makes it out to be.
Yeah, see, I just haven't even... You did better than me. I haven't even turned it on.
Yeah, that's the thing. I gave it a chance, but I was like, yeah, sorry, guys. I don't see it.
I'm the same. I just don't... I'm not like into that kind of television.
Right. I mean, it's not that I watched the show beforehand, but like, for example, if a line's about to come up based on what I would write as a comedy writer, I would say it, and then turns out it's a line being said. I'm like, well, that was pretty predictable.
Yeah, see, or you're just really good at your job.
Maybe. That's the thing. If I can add screenwriter, that'd be great, but...
I think you will. You'll do it one day.
Hopefully.
You have to be positive. You have to like speak it into the universe. You're like, you will.
True.
Sure.
I guess that's just my dad's realist teachings that I grew up with that are talking, if anything.
Yeah. I mean, parents have to be realists.
Yeah, I mean, I guess, because my dad is like, is it possible that your podcast could blow up? Yes. Is it probable? No.
I think it's probable and possible. It's going to happen.
Well, thank you.
You're welcome.
Actually, weirdly enough, when it comes to podcasting, even though my parents want me to work on it less, they tell me that I'm great at it. And so it's kind of like, I know that it was kind of a discouragement, but if anything, you told me I was good when I know that these two people will not bullshit me.
Yeah, no, parents are like the most honest people in your life, for sure.
I'm sure, though, because you're well in a career, your parents must love the field that you're in, which is fantastic.
Yeah, they do. They think it's unique. Because most people still don't know what I do, so when they explain to like their friends, they enjoy being able to tell their friends what I do.
Right, exactly. Because my daughter works at a hospital. Oh, is she a doctor or a nurse or a surgeon? But then no one really knows about what a child life specialist is.
Right.
Which actually, now that you mention it, I hope that whoever watches this episode finally gets to learn about what exactly you do.
Yeah, I hope so too. I'm all about spreading awareness and letting people know about what we do.
And what you do is a very beautiful thing.
Thank you. I think so too.
And so, let me just take a look at the time. Okay, we got some time left to talk. When you're not exercising or hospitaling or whatever you want to call it, and baking, what's another thing that goes on in the life of Carlye Hubert?
Oh, Boone. I know we've already talked about him, but he's like my whole life. I genuinely spend most of my free time with him. I also enjoy reading, and I love being outside. I love being on the water, on the beach. We have Bayshore here, which is like, fun fact, it's the longest continuous sidewalk like in America, I think.
Ooh,
yeah,
okay.
Pretty cool.
You mean right where Gatsby happens?
Yes.
Oh,
yeah.
Very interesting. Well, I guess they needed to funnel somewhere for the drunks to walk on at 1 or 2 in the morning.
There you go, yeah. Annually, they need somewhere for all the Gasparilla drunks to be.
And speaking of Gasparilla, Tampa is a very happening town. But if I looked up last time I checked, it's like the 3rd most wanted city to move to in America.
Yeah, I just saw like people were reposting that on Instagram.
And so even though that you're not a native Tampa per se, but you're like about an hour away, so you might as well be. I don't know. Do you feel like Tampa's got a little crowded recently?
Yeah, but I feel like I also moved to Tampa when it started to get crowded. I've only been here back in Florida for a year.
True, but you're an original Floridian, so I feel like you get like a stamp of approval.
Yeah, they had to welcome me back. They didn't have a choice.
Exactly. And if not, Orlando would have welcomed you back, especially.
Thank you. I feel like Orlando's so landlocked, though. Like, it was great for college, but...
It is very landlocked. And, like, if you want to go to the beach, you have to drive an hour out. Whereas where you're living right now, or, like, where I grew up in South Florida, the beach, you drive 15 minutes west and you're in the water.
Right.
Or, for you... No, for you, west, me, east.
Yes, yeah. I feel like here in Tampa, though, we're still pretty far from the beach.
Really?
To get to, like, St. Pete beaches, yeah, it feels kind of far.
True, but then again, it's probably the traffic that doesn't really help either.
Yeah, probably. Because, like, on a really nice day, when you take 275 over to St. Pete, you're in so much traffic.
The one thing that I hate about St. Pete is that if you get off the exit and go to St. Pete when that wasn't your intention, you're, like, stuck for 30 minutes, and then you have to loop back around.
Yeah. Because even like St. Pete has blown up. They have a really cute little downtown area, but there's so many people there now.
I was actually just there for First Friday, if you know what that is.
It's like a block party essentially, right?
Yeah, exactly. I mean, this was my first time hearing about it. It just so happens that I came on the weekend where it happened, and then a few of us went out, and then this one bar we went to, the fire alarms were going off. And so, granted, you know how there's already loud music and sounds are always sampled in music. So honestly, when I heard the fire alarms, I'm like, this is a very interesting thing to sample into a song, but okay. But then it just kept going, and I thought, oh, this is actually real.
Yeah, like, oh, there's a fire happening.
Yeah, and then everyone was talking, and there was loud music, and there was that. And so
yeah, we talk about sensory overload for sure.
Do the kids ever get sensory overloaded at the hospital? And if so, what do you do to combat it?
Yeah, great question. Absolutely they do. I mean, we have noises everywhere. We have people everywhere. We've got many children on the spectrum are used to routine and schedule and their own items. Mm-hmm. Yeah. So you come to an unfamiliar place where even tactile things like bed sheets feel different.
Oh, I actually bring a blanket. It's when I was a kid, my dad always gave me one of his army ponchos, which we always called the army blanket, and literally I always bring it with me wherever I go.
Oh, that's cool.
Yep.
Is that like something? It's aside from just for various reasons, is it like a comfort item?
It is a very comforting item.
Yeah, that's really awesome. It's awesome you still have that.
Yeah, it's like, I guess it's like an adult blankie of some sort.
Yeah, there you go. I feel like everybody has an adult blankie. Like something that signifies an adult blankie.
What's your adult blankie then?
Stuffed animals.
Oh, really? Do you have one?
Sure.
Do you have one specific one that you take everywhere, like since you've had it as a kid, or do you kind of like go through them as the stuffing comes out?
I don't take them everywhere, but they're still prominently in my room back at home. And I made like 13 Build-A-Bears growing up. If you guys know what a Build-A-Bear is.
Is that place still even around?
I think they are, but I don't think they have the hype they used to.
I was about to say, because, I don't know, it seems very generic. And like, based on some of the commercials, I feel like this would scare some kids, especially with the stuffing process.
Yeah, it's quite interesting. I know they like plug the back of the bear into a machine and it like stuffs it. It's really interesting.
Yeah, because that's not traumatizing for a kid at all.
No, it's an interesting process.
Yeah.
But I have all mine.
And actually, speaking of that, I still have my teddy bear from when I was 3 years old, actually, in my closet somewhere. His name is Radar, after Big Bird's teddy bear.
Oh, see? That's another adult blankie situation.
Yeah, but I don't bring him everywhere. He literally just stays in my closet collecting dust. I probably should, what's that word I'm looking for? Lint roller him to make sure that he's more clean, because, I don't know, I feel like I'm just glad that Radar doesn't want to kill me, hopefully, because if he were to come to life, I would be like, was I cool to you, or is this where it ends?
Isn't that funny? I feel like as a kid, you always thought like your stuffed animals would totally have like a riot every time you left to go to school.
Just like in Toy Story.
Literally. I was fully convinced all my toys came alive.
Which one of your stuffed animals have you had the longest that you have the most relationship with, quote unquote?
Yeah. So actually my mom passed down a teddy bear that her dad gave her.
Aww.
Yeah. So we still have it.
What is its name?
It doesn't have a name. It's just a teddy bear.
Just a teddy bear.
Yeah. But we've had it the longest, and it's almost like a hand-me-down of sorts. So it's a special one.
You'll give that to your children one day, maybe?
Maybe one day, yeah. We'll see.
Are you interested in kids or no?
Oh, yeah. I want a lot of kids.
I want a solid 3 to 4 because I grew up in a big family, so that's just me.
That's exactly, so 4 is my number because first of all, they have to pair off. And second of all, I want a big family.
Yeah, big families are fun. And besides, you're setting up your grandkids for success because now they have more aunts and uncles to get money from on Hanukkah.
There you go. Yeah, the holidays and birthdays will be like totally stacked. For sure. Yeah.
Oh, and bar bat mitzvahs.
Oh, yeah. They're going to get all the money there, too. Definitely, yeah. I love working with kids, and I want my own kids, so.
Look at that. See how we brought everything full circle?
Full circle.
Excellent. All right, and Carlye, it was so great. Last time I saw you was Gasparilla, so that was a few months ago. But before then, it's been years. So I really enjoyed this time catching up.
Me too, very much so.
Excellent, and actually, we're about to do the final section of catching up, which is my favorite part of any Big DK Energy episode, and that is the bonus question round.
Okay.
10 questions that you do not know about, but are still appropriate that you will still be at the hospital afterwards. So,
okay.
That being said, are you ready, Miss Hubert?
I think so. I'm the most nervous for this one.
You got nothing to be nervous about.
Okay.
All right, now that I know that everything is rolling.
Okay.
Question number 1. You've been tasked with creating a country festival. Who are your 5 main headliners and which beer sponsors it?
5 main headliners, so easy. Tim McGraw, Brett Young, Morgan Wallen, Reba McEntire, and Garth Brooks, because that means Trisha Yearwood's also coming.
Okay, fair enough. And which beer sponsors it?
For sure, Blue Moon.
Excellent. With an orange slice, though?
There's no other way to drink a Blue Moon.
Fair
and
enough.
on draft, because the bottles taste totally different.
Okay, so plenty of Blue Moon on tap.
Yes.
Sounds like my kind of concert. Number 2. What is your dream vacation and itinerary?
My dream vacation right now is probably Hawaii. I really want to get to Hawaii. And the itinerary is hiking, eating local food, and swimming and laying on all the beaches.
Sounds like a great time. I could probably go for a beach vacation myself right now, but your boy is broke.
Yeah, same. That's why it's a dream.
But you know what? We can make dreams happen.
Yeah.
I mean, isn't there like a Disney song that says that?
Like a dream is a wish your heart makes.
There we go. That's the one from Snow White or Pinocchio.
Cinderella?
Okay, probably that. I don't know.
I could be wrong.
I'm probably wrong too, and yet I'm 30 minutes away from Disney World. Whatever. Number 3. If you could have dinner with 3 people who have inspired you, not friends or family, who would they be?
Oh, dang. That's a good question. Okay. Oh, gosh. Okay, so Jodi Picoult, because she does no wrong. I love reading all of her books. That's like one of my favorite pastimes. She does no wrong. Shawn Johnson. First of all, I grew up being a gymnast and cheerleader my whole life. And Shawn Johnson's super open about her adult life now as well. And like the journey she's gone through. I think she's so brave and so inspirational. And I feel like I have a lot of things that I enjoyed learning from her. So definitely her. Jennifer Gardner. She does this like fake baking show on her Instagram, and I just think she's an incredible human, and she also does a lot for the community. So
Excellent. Sounds like a great group of ladies to have dinner with.
I'm sure there's like a whole lot more inspirational people, but I felt like I was put on the spot. So
This is your answer, so you can say Superman for all I care.
fair.
Number 4. What is a far-fetched goal on your bucket list?
Dang, these are great questions.
Thank you.
I feel like I should have better, quicker answers for this on my bucket list.
Take your time.
I don't think it's far-fetched, but it kind of goes back to like our family thing on my bucket list. I just want to raise really awesome kids. Like, I think that part of me is like totally meant to be a mom, so I want to
What's a crazy thing that you want to do for your kids as a mom then?
have fresh baked items on the counter every day when they come home from school.
I love that.
Super far-fetched because I probably get really tired of that. But
Yeah, I don't know how my mom made Korean food so constantly, but she did a fantastic job.
that sounds phenomenal.
It was until she passed. But then I got nice, good Jewish food, and let me tell you, my stepmom can make a mean brisket or schnitzel.
Oh, we're approaching brisket time.
That's right. I'm actually going back to South Florida for Passover pretty soon, so yeah.
There you go. Just about time.
Number 5, actually kind of relating back to what you just said, if you could have a machine that could instantly make 3 bakery goods instantly, like you press a button and it comes out, what 3 items are coming out of that oven?
The 3 items are a phenomenal apple pie. And then something else I love making are homemade chocolate chip Rolo cookies. Those are like my trademark. I'm super good at those.
Can you make me them next time I come home?
Yeah, I think I can do that for you.
Yes.
They're just so much work. That's why I would totally press the button to make them instantly.
And then your 3rd item?
Banana breads. Everyone loves my banana breads. And they're actually kind of easy to make, but the amount that I make, I would love to press a button and just be like, they're done.
That was a good rapid fire answer for that question.
I love baking. That was easy.
Number 6. If you were given $1 million for you and Boone to take a trip, where would you go different from your dream vacation?
We are going up to the mountains.
Where
I
is
could
the mountains?
spend a whole lot of money up in North Carolina on the Blue Ridge, off the Blue Ridge Parkway.
Excellent.
And I drop a lot of money on a solid Airbnb to be secluded up in the mountain and wake up to an unobstructed view of the mountain range.
I honestly need one of those vacations right now.
Yeah.
See, personally, I'm more of a forest mountain kind of guy versus a beach, so I could just imagine it, and I'm just at pure zen.
Yeah. Oh my gosh, the smells of the mountains in the morning, there's like nothing like it. It's the
I feel
best.
like I'm breathing cleaner air.
Yes, you are.
You would love Alaska then, because
I've been. I tell everybody they have to go to Alaska in their lifetime.
I've actually been. My grandma took me and my cousin, and that was just an unbelievable time.
Yeah, Alaska's beautiful.
It is, and we actually got to see a moose and her calf, like right outside one of the gift shops. Of course, everyone didn't get too close because those things are aggressive.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure she would have protected her baby for sure.
I don't think you realize how big moose are.
I've seen them in Alaska, and my older sister lives out in Colorado, so I've seen them out there.
Got it. They're way bigger than I expected. Like, of course, I knew they'd be big, but
Way big. They're huge.
yeah, as in if you drive into it, your car is busted, but it will walk away just fine.
Exactly.
Number 7. What's a material object that brings you joy?
There's two things.
Okay.
I have an anklet. It's a material object. My mom cut it down from one of my grandmother's bracelets or long necklace chains. So my sisters and I have it. I wear it every day around my ankle.
Aw.
And I now have a material item that has my dad's signature on it. It says, "I love you, Dad," that I wear around I don't have it on right now, ironically, but I wear it around my wrist every day.
That's beautiful, actually.
Thank you.
Number 8. You've been given 3 wishes from a lamp, and the genie will not screw you over for these wishes. What are you wishing for? And you can't wish for more wishes.
That's fair. I feel like that's always the go-to. You can't wish for more wishes. So I'm wishing for enough money to pay off all of my car payments. So this is one wish.
Yeah?
The money to be able to pay off all my car payments, my parents' car payments,
Correct.
and any money that they might owe for like my schooling. My other wish is to be able to travel anywhere I want in the blink of an eye. I feel like there's so much world to see and not enough time to see it.
So teleportation. Okay.
Yeah. But like more like on a private jet type situation.
Oh, you just want to chill while traveling. Okay.
Yeah. Like I want to travel in luxury.
Fair enough. I mean, I'm the kind of guy where I just want to step out of my door and go, oh, I'm in France.
Yeah, that's cool too. There's like a part of me that actually like enjoys the flying experience if it's on a nice day.
Okay, fair
I
enough.
have terrible flying history, but I actually don't mind the process of flying. But private jet sounds pretty great.
It does sound pretty good, especially if you've not had a great, experience with an airplane.
Yeah.
And then your third wish.
My third wish is... Have you ever seen... This is not my third wish, but it just made me laugh. Have you ever seen... Oh gosh, I'm not going to remember the name of the movie. With Sandra Bullock, and she's like the undercover world pageant... Miss Congeniality.
Yes.
And the girl's like, world peace. I mean, that could be my third wish, but that's not... I don't know why that just came to my mind. My last wish would be for all the animals in the animal shelters to circle out from something we said before to all have homes.
Even in stuff that you can be completely selfish and just do for you, you do for others.
Oh,
Look
thank
at you,
you.
Carly. It just shows that you're a very genuine human being. Not saying that you weren't before, but, people can get a glimpse of that.
Yeah, thank you.
Of course. Number 9. If you could live in any movie universe, what would it be?
It's not a movie, it's a show.
Okay.
I'm going to go Yellowstone just because I love being in the mountains.
Okay.
Every time I'm watching it, I'm like, it just looks so peaceful.
Do you have your own ranch in this world, per se?
Oh, for sure.
Got it.
Yeah.
Describe it.
It literally looks like the Dutton Ranch for anybody that watches Yellowstone. They have these beautiful barns, and they open their door, and they have a huge main house. My dream home is a home in the mountains with that fresh log cabin smell, but it's like a modern log cabin.
Correct. It's not like they placed logs on top of each other and you're supposed to just fill in the crack with mud.
Yeah, exactly. That's like what their main house looks like, and they open the door and you just see the mountain ranges and land. It's beautiful.
Sounds very zen. I don't think I'd be stressed one day there.
Yeah, me neither.
I mean, unless I had kids there, then I'd be just stressed all the time.
Yeah, but then they can run around like in the yard and they really wouldn't get hurt.
True, but what if they run too far into the forest?
Well, it's like all open land.
Fair enough.
mostly.
And
They'd
plus-
have to go really far.
True, and plus you have Boone to sniff him out.
Yeah, Boone will go get him, retrieve him, and bring him back.
Exactly. I mean, isn't that kind of the job of that breed to do, is to bring back stuff?
Yeah, they are typically known to be bred for hunting, so yeah.
Yeah, obviously not to bring back kids, like that. I mean, they meant to bring back ducks, but then, they'll bring back kids, like, biting at the top of their shirts. Hey, Mommy, I'm back.
Yeah.
Oh, good boy, Boone.
Yes, yeah.
And then we're having such a great time that we're actually at the last question.
Oh, perfect.
And it's actually one that I ask everybody, but the answers always vary. And that is, what is your best, most recent accomplishment?
My best, most recent accomplishment would probably be getting back down to Florida at Johns Hopkins All Children's Hospital and being in the position I'm in. I worked really hard to be a child life specialist, and I feel like I grow and I learn every day, and I work really hard to be provided the opportunities I'm given. So that's my best one so far.
Look at you go, Carlye. You're a rock star.
Thank you.
So, with the bonus question round wrapped up, we're actually at the conclusion of the show. And so, Miss Hubert, I actually want to say, not actually, but because that makes it sound like I was hesitating, but I just want to say thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you for having me. I was happy to do this.
Of course. And so, Carlye, what you do for these children, especially in very hard times of their life, you bring them comfort, you bring them peace, and you have such a warm, inviting face, and you have such a motherly demeanor to you, and you're just an awesome friend in general. So with all those things that combine to make you, that is what I think gives you, Carlye Hubert, big DK energy.
Thank you. I appreciate that. I would agree.
I agree as well. So that being said, that if she wants, we'll put all of her social media in the description box below. And does Boone have an Instagram too?
Boone does have an Instagram. It's not up to date though.
We're going to take a photo of him today, so we have some content there, but follow Boone as well. And before we head out, Carlye, is there anything else that you want to say and or promote?
That I just appreciate you, and I think you're a rock star, and I think my lucky stars that we are friends and we still keep a good friendship.
Excellent. Well, those are some best things that people can have in life now,
Yes,
isn't it?
I completely agree.
All right. Well, with that all being said and done, I'm Danny K, the Big DK Energy Podcast, and we are signing out.